I'm going to wait a few minutes. There's 5 people in the room watching. Hi, how y'all doing? If you're here for drama, won't be any. Um, but welcome anyway. On this channel, we talk about prepping. We talk about things that's going to help you survive when shit hits the fan. Um, I don't do negativity on my page. I try to ignore negativity. Sometimes, it is what it is. But that's life. You got to roll with the punches. So I'm good with it. But I hope y'all had a good Saturday. I hope everything is going well. Hey, Ghetto, how you doing? Hi, Black Poindexter. How you doing? Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? How's everything? Happy Saturday. Hey, Tappin. Hi, Ramsey J. Ghetto. BP. Hi, my Renaissance Grandma. How you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Hey, Leslie. How you doing? Kendall, how y'all doing? Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great weekend. I hope you guys are still prepping regardless of all the stuff that's going on, all the craziness in the world. Hope you guys are doing your thing. Hey, just Josh, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hi, Black Guns and Gordon. Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? $2. What's going on? So today I was going to continue about, do you have your plan in order? And hopefully people are planning for themselves. Somebody actually sent me a really good hey North Florida, how you doing? Sent me a really good response to one of my videos, and he was just saying, like, are people prepared if a nuclear war happens, if the bomb drops, how to get water from your gas mask when you open up your filters. Are you opening it up in an area that's exposed to contaminants? How do you go about that? And I thought that was a really good response. It was really good information. Hopefully I can have him on one day and he could just run through it. I do believe he was in the military from what I remember, but yeah, I hope you guys are prepping for these food shortages. Hi Vanita, hi A-Day, how y'all doing? Hi Miss Sharon. I hope moms are doing the best they can and find alternative ways to find milk for your kids, your babies, and all of those stuff. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in this world for us to be worried about silly stuff, personal beefs. I don't have time for it. But at the end of the day, I like to be prepared. I like to be ready for whatever, you know. And I hope you are too. I'm going to drop the link. If you want to come on, feel free. Yeah, babies and adults, the elderly, there's a lot going on. Hi, Cherokee Survival. How you doing? Hi, S.A. Rainey. Thank you. I dropped the link. If you have anything that you want to say, feel free to hop on and share whatever you can share with somebody. Hopefully, it'll help somebody get prepared for what they need to get prepared for. Whatchamacallit, I did go out and hi, Billy. How you doing?
What up? How you feel?
I'm good. How are you? It's a beautiful day.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yep. I was just telling them I just went out this weekend and I bought some more canned foods just to have, just in case. A whole lot. I did. I went crazy. Yep.
I draw the line. I draw the line. Some things is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you remember, I'm prepping for family members that might come through, and so I have to have a variety of things. Hi, to Pimp. How you doing?
What up, Pimp?
I had to. I bought stuff just for everybody, so if they show up, I have something for somebody to eat that's in my family, or maybe give away in case, because you never know. Hey, the Pimp. How you doing, love? That's a lot. So what you doing?
Nothing, man. I did yard work all day, so
Mm-hmm.
the dogs right, set up, clean up, clean their area again, and I was I was sweating. It was a need
Yeah.
hydration day,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it was a
Yeah.
long one, but the missus went out to her vending event,
Okay, nice. Hi,
so
citizen. Citizen. Mm-hmm.
be back somewhat soon. Citizen, what up? Who that
Hey,
babe?
hey, who that? What's going on? They were actually talking about the water, stocking up on more water, and that, if I'm not mistaken, somehow it's supposed to be the hottest it's ever been on Earth within the next 5 years.
So sad. I hear, and I grabbed some water. Water is probably my toughest thing to prep because
Mm-hmm.
that is the most consumed thing
Yep.
in prep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely difficult to, but it's one of the cheapest things.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, but we do consume it a lot, a
All right.
lot. So
Mm-hmm. It's true.
definitely tough. But but it's funny. I was just thinking about this, and this might strike a nerve.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of times we get on and we talk about things, politics, the end of the world type stuff, and this and that is running out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get mad when I say this,
Okay.
but I still shit in clean water.
You're gonna have to explain
Yeah,
that.
it's a reality. So it's wild. It's just I wonder when that point is going to come where that is going to change. You know, that's I guess it's got nowhere else to hit but the fan.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking about that. I said, wow, we do have a lot of
Yeah, but
uh,
mhm.
when this is going to happen, that's going to happen. But when that lifestyle change is unbearable, inevitable,
Thank you. Hmm. You
you
know
got
what?
to
We talk about planning for stuff that's going to happen. Let's scale it back to just maybe a month from now. Roe versus Wade. The climate all over the place is going to be insane.
Mhm.
There's going to be so many protests. I'm just thinking to myself, in regards to that, it's going to be a hot summer, and not just the weather.
Yeah.
We
And
have
you
a
think about it, you look back at the Americanized protest.
mhm. Sorry.
That's all right. We really took a break.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Been a minute. So, I mean, the last thing, like a big uprising I remember was the whole storming the Capitol thing
Mm-hmm.
in January.
Hmm. Yep.
So it's been a while. I'm not saying we're due. I'm not saying like I need one, but
Mm-hmm.
we've been coasting. We've
We've
been
been
coasting.
Now you tie that in with parents not be able to give their children milk or obtain milk for their children. You tie in the truckers with the diesel fuel shortage, right? You tie in people not being able to get medication or certain things that they may need that may come from out of state,
Hmm.
wise. It's going to be a hot summer. It's going to be a crazy summer. And I hope that people are also prepping for that. Get your stuff now so you don't have to be out there with all that craziness unless you choose to. By all means, if that's what you believe in and you want to get out there in the streets and have your voice heard, I hear you. However, it's going to be a lot of riots. It's going to be a lot of things. Exactly. A lot of things going on. And even though we prep for what's to happen further on down the road, we also got to realize what's going on right here, right now.
Yeah.
Still being with 2 feet planted firmly on what's going on right now. What are we facing? Are we doing what we need to do for that when it comes there? Because summer is like what, a month away? What is this? May, June? Yeah, just about
Yeah.
June. I don't know.
It's coming. And it's funny. I look at a lot of these um, smoke and mirrors
Mm-hmm.
type kind of polite violence. Somebody saying, I saw you, sorry, like right before they hit you. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Gas went up around my area now. It's like $3.99, $4.05 in that.
Take that, bro.
Let it drop back down to $3.50, and we're gonna think, oh Jesus, back to regular, back to normal. That polite violence. They're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like,
is that a setup though? They set us up to be in an uproar and then come in as our savior.
Yeah, they set us up to appreciate them stepping all over.
Right.
And it's wild because we would, because gas doesn't take any more to produce than it did 20 years ago.
Right.
It doesn't take any more to transport than it did 20 years ago. And the cars are using less of it.
Yeah.
Nobody ever thinks about that. That's a hell of a reality.
Yeah.
Vehicles are using less gas, but it costs more.
It's crazy. Are we prepared for that? Are we storing gas? Do we watch videos to show us how to store gas, how to make it last longer in the containers? What kind of containers do you need to have? Are we actually doing what we need to do to prepare for just the summer that's coming? Hi, BB. You're blurry.
I'm trying to do my
I see what he's doing.
Do my finest medium. My finest medium in impression.
You're a mean person.
I am blurry. What's going on? What's going on?
Yeah. Why are you blurry?
I don't know. I think it's my state of mind. Everything going on. It's coming across on the internet.
Yeah.
Let me go out and come back in.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's the best. That's the best.
Yeah, look at the gas prices that people are putting up. It's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy. And truck drivers are going to, whether it's private owned or you're driving for a company, all of that is going to be setbacks. That means there's going to be people right now with the inflation, people are hurting. A lot of people are hurting. You're going to have hungry people, homeless people. Rent is going up all over the place. Not even 10% of it, more than 10%. People are not ready for this. Or maybe some are, but
what's crazy, and I'm guilty. I'll say it for me. As it gets, nuts, I'm still living it up. I'm still doing the stuff that I be wanting to do.
And you have to keep that balance, you still have to maintain your happiness, whatever makes you happy, whatever it is. As much as you can, try to do it whilst you can. Because there is going to be a problem. Okay. So there's going to be a premiere for the drip sauce shirts. And I'm going to post it. And I don't know if you guys, everybody uses seasoning. This man has some really great seasoning, which is Delacour's flavor.
Delacour's flavor.
Yeah. I wish you would have sent it to me earlier so I could have put it on the thing, but I'll get it up there.
If you ain't tripping, you tripping.
Exactly. Yeah.
$2.
I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna drop this link in a minute so you guys can go check him out. He has some really good, if you're gonna be barbecuing, which it seems like a lot of people are going to be doing because it's going to be like a summer where you're kind of stuck. Traveling might not be an option. Driving like before. It's gonna be a lot of backyard barbecues. Hi, Bug. Hi, Bug dude. How you doing?
Yeah, but, I use it in my pasta, like with my Alfredo. I use it on my corn. I've been putting the Tex-Mex on the corn on the cob.
It's really good. I gotta find the link and I'll drop it in 1 second. You welcome, love, anytime. We all trying to make it, so whatever you have something that you're out there and you're doing entrepreneurial wise, if I can help you out, I definitely will. I'll drop it on my channel. Definitely. And because I look at people like that as a solution. They're not giving us extra money, so you got to make it somehow, and in return, circle it back into smaller businesses so that they can survive. The farmers. go out there, and when they have, what do you call those things again? When the farmers come out with all their produce, ah, it just left my mind.
Farmers market.
Farmers market. Go out there and support them versus Walmart if you can, or if you have that in your in your area. Help them, help keep us healthy with natural stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You got to realize too, in a farmer's market, there's generally two people that touch
Mhm.
your the food that you consume and bring in your home, in the privacy of your home. There's
Uh-huh.
the person who picks it and the person who sells it.
Mhm.
When it gets to a store like Walmart or something like that, you have the
Mhm.
person who picks it, the person
Yep.
who puts it on a truck, the person
Yep.
who transports it,
Mhm.
processes it. There's 3 or 4 people that are going to touch it. Then you got
Mhm.
the person who puts it back on the truck. Then you got the
Right.
person who takes it off the truck. Then you got to take it out of the warehouse and put it on the shelf. And then you got, I don't even know how many people touching it before they decide they like it and put it back down. You know how it is with pears and peaches and stuff like that. Before you know it, you got a good 60 people that touch the fruit and veggies that you're friggin' giving to your kids.
Yep. That's crazy. Hey, VP, much better.
Is that any better?
Yes.
I was on the road and I got blocked, so I don't know. I was like on the
Oh.
road. I got blocked.
Roadblock.
So
Look, he's doing
my
Roblox.
premium.
You're so mean. You're so mean. But one
Yeah.
is fun.
Yeah.
How's everybody doing?
We're good. We're good.
All
We're
right.
talking about, we have to be solutionary in regards to our survival. And that starts with so much. Hi, Hutch. How are you? Good to see you.
What up?
Yeah.
Solving problems. That's what it's about. It's not about
That's
just
right.
yelling and screaming the sky is falling. Okay.
Right.
What are you going to do about it? I love the military because whenever you went to a problem, identified a problem, the next question was, okay, Sergeant Boyd or whoever, what are you going to do about it? So we have to have that same mindset. Identifying problems are good. Finding solutions is even better. So
Even better. Yeah. Like, stop waiting for other people to solve your issue.
exactly. Save yourself.
Yeah, get involved with your community, because your community is where you can solve a lot of your problems if we start talking to each other, start investing in each other. Instead of calling a big company that's making a lot of money, you can have somebody that's smaller that actually does that. And that money circulates right back into your community. That allows them to survive, you to survive, and it just becomes a better way of living. Just my thoughts when you sit down and you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Keep each other open. Hi, Boozy. How are you?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
True.
And the more you keep those lower options, those local options open,
Mm-hmm.
the less control that these large conglomerates will have over not only how much you pay for it, but what is there for you to pay for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
keep that in mind when you go out and stuff that you could. I understand that everybody's got to go, spread their money the best way they can and whatever. But if you have that option, go with it, because Walmart will tell you what you're going to have. Believe
Right.
me, if they don't have and supply what you think you want, you're going to buy something that they got to
Mm-hmm.
replace.
Say that again, because like you said, they say we have freedom of choice, but emphasize what you just said.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
if you go to a store for something you want and that store doesn't have what you want, you're going to buy what they have to replace what you want. And that's the smoke and mirrors.
So is that a choice really at that point? That's what you're saying. It's not really a choice.
That's right.
Really?
That's all that's in
But
front
you do have a choice. Grow your own shit, but
There you go.
everybody's working on that.
We all have choices, and we just got to get up off our butts and start doing it. Stop worrying about silly stuff. Like, focus on what you need to do for your family and your community. Like, we're supposed to have a community meeting. So I'm actually looking to attend it to see if we have preppers in my community meeting, and see if even if there's 2 people that's on board with it, we're just gonna go ahead and start doing that. And I think we need to start introducing people to stuff that they may not have thought about before. It might bring them some peace, knowing that you can do something. This is how you do it. This is what you should be doing. just sharing other people's channels that are doing things in the prepping world. I have a list. That's what I'm going to bring to that meeting, and a lot of you guys that's on here, your channel is on there. So I'm going to share that with those people, and I'm going to bring it. Like, we have a lot of space here that we could do a community garden. I hope that they're on board with it, and hopefully, if enough people make noise, that's the solution for this complex. For this area that I live in.
And that's powerful, Carbon. Thursday, they had a meet and greet for the local Naga chapter. I had joined the national. I wasn't a member of the local. Philip came down and he talked to the people. They had a meet and greet, a local black owned jerk chicken shop. Good food, by the way. I didn't even know it was there. Right, it's right up the block from me. Didn't even know it was here. But they started talking about the different things that they have. So they're starting a preppers type of thing. So they have one brother, Jimmy, who's in charge of that, but they have no first aid, nobody who's like bringing those kind of things that are into it. So that's an opportunity for me and some other people to start addressing those issues. And also they're doing prepping. So they have a 5-man teams, nest teams, they call them. So that's another thing. I mean, reaching out and getting involved, like you said, in the local community is so important. So I'm glad, you mentioned that. And, now I'm starting to do some of those things too, because this is good, but we have to start with what's immediately around us in order to survive. For me to get to you guys somewhere else, I got to be able to survive here. Right. So having those things in place are important. And that's a good point, Urban.
And hopefully the stores that's in the neighborhood, we can start having a working relationship with those people as well. Maybe have like, how you go to the meat market and they have like packages of certain types of meat that you can get for a certain price. Maybe we can introduce that for our community, for those individuals who are on a limited income, or, young parents or things like that, that we can just in a community work together to make sure everybody is eating, everybody is at least somewhat okay. Hey, thank God, guys. Hey,
what up?
Sorry.
What's that?
What's up?
Well, Arthur likes it's good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. And sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, hey, what's up?
Yep. Hey,
shout out to everybody in the chat, man, except for Kick Up Ducks. Like, he ain't on my little Dominican joint right here.
You gotta show Dominicans love, man.
We have a storage like part in our community center. I want to see if they can start having like a pantry. People could just start storing some stuff, like even if it's diapers, even if it's canned food, for whatever's to come, that people may have some place to go to grab something to eat. So hopefully other people will start looking at their area and where they live and maybe start it in their respective areas. There's a lady, she has a garden. She really doesn't, not a garden, she has a backyard, but she's older. So at some point I want to go out and ask her if we can go ahead and take care of her garden and start planting some stuff there. That way she can have some food. I don't know what her situation is, but she's by herself. Like, really go around your neighborhood and look and see how you can change that into positive just for everybody. Hopefully
I have a question. I'm kind of out of touch. All my kids are grown. So the formula situation doesn't affect me, but I wanted to reach out to the community, to those who may be affected by this shortage. Are there any other holistic or natural ways that we could provide or get these type of things or help people who are in these situations? Because it's like life-threatening. A lot of these kids, they can't eat milk. They can't use these things. They have to have specific type of nutrition in order to sustain themselves, and like we said earlier, adult as well. So if anybody has information, I think this is a great opportunity to come online and kind of share this stuff, because it's literally a matter of life and death. So I would love to kind of see and learn, about some of those things.
I know there's a lot of doulas out there. Maybe they,
Oh, I know one.
Yeah.
Reach out.
Reach out to them, and it would be great to have somebody who does that come on the show.
I will talk to her and give her your number and information. I will do that. I will do that today.
Definitely. And maybe she can teach some moms who may not be able to produce milk, but I know that some hospitals will have moms that produce milk to put the milk into these bags and they freeze it and give it to the babies that their moms can't produce. As far as the health between that, I would say, check with your doctor. But if that's an option, you can always find somebody near you. You guys can have a conversation, and instead of paying so much money for milk, you can pay this mom. She could take care of her kids, and she's supplying you with some milk for your kids. Um, Somebody else had mentioned evaporated carnation milk. I don't know because it's been a while. My son's 27, so I'm not sure if that's an option. But if you don't have anything, maybe that is an option. They have the not, or even if you're straining your oatmeal and just take the milk, make it watery and make it into a milk and give that to your baby as an option because it still has the vitamins in it. And again, with any of this, you should check with your pediatrician, your doctor before you do it. I'm not a medical, anything like that. I'm just throwing something out there. You run with it how you feel, it works for you. If you're in a situation where you can't get milk for your baby,
I
it's
know my uncle, he couldn't have like regular milk.
mhm.
So she and I've heard this before too. They used to give him goat's milk. I don't know what's different about it, but for some reason it has a different reaction. I don't know if the makeup is different from the cow's milk or what, but goat's milk.
It's the proteins that people are allergic to.
And I
It probably has a different protein.
easier digestion.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what the goat's
What
milk.
the
I heard
heck?
that before because I know some
Got
pediatricians I've heard they recommend like giving a baby like whole milk.
the Kumo-D
I
going.
don't like whole milk anyway because I just don't think we should be drinking another animal's milk. I just don't.
Right.
Not even roaches.
No, I don't want no roast milk. No.
Oh, roast milk? Come on, that's the
Oh,
thing. Put it in your coffee a little bit.
I tried the grasshoppers, but I don't know if the roast milk gonna work.
Mhm. Now you got to figure from North Carolina all the way up to New York, there's supposed to be a shortage on diesel. I do believe starting this week. That might be a situation for people needing formula, just any type of formula. You got to figure you have your older individuals who may take Ensure. Is there a shortage on that? Can you feed a baby Ensure? I don't know. Maybe something you might want to go look into. If you can't get that, maybe get that. You might have to put water. Hi, Shanna. How are you, love?
Hey, Shanna.
hmm Okay, so Miss Sharon says she was raised on the carnation recipe. Mama still have the directions that the doctor wrote out for her. I was never sick. Went to school 9 years without missing a baby. Hey, I'm sorry, missing a baby. I'm bugging. But yeah, and these are information. This is information that new moms probably don't know. They're probably stressed out. So the more we talk about it, and the more we give solutions to the issues that keep popping up daily, hopefully we'll
One thing that I do know is, and I remember this distinctly, because little Zach was breastfed baby. It was hard at first. Jackie was a new mom and everything. It was hard, but I mean, he didn't get sick till he was like almost 4.
Great.
I remember that. I'm like, the boy never got sick. Then when he like transitioned and started, I think unless you can't, I guess that would be a really good alternative because they got pumps and they got all the type of stuff. Because we were serious about it because we had the pumps and all that stuff. So he was a breastfed baby, and I think that right there, if you can, it's probably even if it's, and I know, like I said, I know it can be hard because we had to do all that. I had to go to the lactation specialist and all that other stuff because it was difficult. It's not always easy. Every woman doesn't take to it really well, but if you can learn to do it, that's probably the best bet if you can.
Try it. Do your best. Sometimes you probably don't have to go back to the natural way of doing things. As a mom, yeah, it's not easy. It does hurt. There's a lot of issues with it. But if your baby needs to eat, you'll tough it out. Yeah, you'll definitely tough it out. And it is best. It is best because they get all the nutrients. Whatever you are consuming, the baby's going to consume. So if you're eating good, then the baby's going to eat well too. Yeah.
I remember that carnation recipe. I remember my brother and sisters with that. Yeah. Carnation milk in a little can. Yeah.
Yeah.
True, Queen. That's true. I know. That's what I'm not really with the. I had a long time years ago, man. This guy used to come on public television called the Roots Man. And the Roots Man talked about how you shouldn't be drinking cow's milk. And I remember watching it. He did the expose he did was so great. I literally stopped drinking cow's milk. Now I still eat cheese and ice cream and stuff like that, but I will not drink whole milk. I just won't because of that.
It's meant to fatten a calf into a whole cow, right? So figure, but
it's wild that the propaganda surrounding that since forever, that even doctors recommend. They had a whole campaign.
Milk does the body good.
Yeah, milk does it. A whole campaign that they would run ads, and not knowing this stuff would trigger other businesses to benefit.
Right.
So the health industry did fine, but guess who else did good? The diet industry, the medical industry. There's so many other angles. These milk farmers is not making enough money to be like, yo, let's just throw a commercial out there. Don't put our names on it, but just say milk. Just go get some milk, no matter how you get it or where you get it, what company it is. Just get some milk. It's not them alone, man. It's everybody who's going to benefit throughout that cycle of that cycle of return.
I believe that's a corporate calculation, because when I learned about how they do food, the reason why everything has high fructose corn syrup in it is because sugar is more addictive than heroin.
Yes.
And what happens is they do these tests, and there's a thing, this is real, called the bliss point. And what they try to do is they try to get to the bliss point, because that's the thing that's going to keep you getting that thing. If you get a person's bliss point, they're going to always keep getting it. You try to figure out, why do I love this so much? Like, you have two types of potato chips, and just one you just love so much. It's because of whatever they did to it, how they did their research on it. And I believe that corporations are simple enough to decide, hey, we're going to do all these tests and studies on milk, and then they see all the side effects and everything, and then make a calculation that, hey, because they have this side effect, they're going to need this, then they're going to need this. And it's just a way to have an endless stream of funds.
That's they did it with the cigarette industry. The cigarette industry did all their research on this and that and the other, knew what the effects, this and the other, and just pushed it downstream because they said, okay, well, we can do this. Then they started investing in hospitals and this and that and the other because they knew deleterious effects and trying to come up with different types of cigarettes. So that marketing deal, okay, this is a healthier cigarette versus, and they're all bad. So they do their research. You got to give it to them. You're right. They know how to concoct and scientifically put this stuff together so that we crave it. Once you get that first, like you said, the first one's free. The first one's free. That's that thing. Let me get you going. The first one's free. Now you're addicted. They do their research. They know the biology, the physiology of all the stuff that they push on us for the pros and for the cons. So it's not.
Back in the day,
I worked in healthcare for over 20 years. I worked in healthcare. I've made a lot of money over the last 40 years off of that stuff.
Yeah.
We all, have some part in it.
Have y'all at all gotten emotional? I'm not talking about crying or throwing yourself on the floor, but have you gotten emotional about a food? Say if you go into a store and they don't have that, it hits you. I was looking for grapes the other day, and I was like ready to curse at somebody because they didn't have grapes, and I was like Jack,
you do a lot of grapes. That's your thing.
Mine is oatmeal raisin cookies. Oatmeal raisin cookies. I can never get them in the store. And if there's one package in there, I'm like,
it actually emotionally affects you. You can have an attitude over some grapes, and then you could be all happy and sunshine. Like, hey, I got some damn good grapes. You be telling people who don't give a fuck about grapes how good your grapes are. That shit is emotional.
You do eat a lot of grapes. I didn't realize. I realized you felt this strong.
It's an emotional thing, though. The addiction.
It is.
With breastfeeding, it also helps the woman's womb to close back and go back into its natural state. So,
hormonally, isn't it?
Yeah. It has just breastfeeding alone. It helps the mom's body readjust back into its normal state. If you can, take a class. They have classes for it. They're called doulas. They will come to your home. They will teach you everything that you need to know from if it gets too much and it's engorged, taking a hot rag, placing it on there, and helping the milk to liquefy so you can express it and save it, because you never know if you can give that to another baby.
Because you can freeze it. You can do. I mean, us men too. We need to
Mhm.
encourage our ladies too, because I thought, I was naive about it. I thought it would just be just that easy. You get the
Mhm.
baby gonna latch on, there go the milk. No, but until we went through the process and I understood, how that worked, you actually have to learn to do it. It's a big deal.
Yeah,
It can be some women is just and the child just comes right away, but others it's a lot harder.
yeah.
And they do have plenty of classes on that stuff.
Hmm. There's plenty of classes. Look into it, and just inform yourself so you have an option.
Are there any sicknesses that people might want to stray away? Say if you are reproducing milk, but you have a certain trait or sickness or whatever, can that be passed on through the milk?
That's why I said get a doula or a professional to sit with you and run through what the dangers are, if there is any, which you should look for in finding somebody to get milk from, a donor. Um, I don't, again, I'm out the game. So at the end of the day, it would definitely be somebody that would have to come in and educate us on that particular topic. And hopefully other channels will actually find somebody else to educate more people about it too. Like bring a doula on, bring a nurse, anybody that deals with maternity and that whole breastfeeding thing that they can, why did I do this? Right. But that can, what you would call it, educate people and see what they can do, what options they have. We already know that there's a shortage. Let's find a solution to it. Let's figure out what's the next stage we can go to. Maybe we have to make adjustments. I don't know if breast implants may be an issue for some people. I don't know. So much has changed in how we treat our bodies and things like that. Maybe we might have to go back to a more natural state of just being in
Yeah.
order to, take care of our families.
Yeah. What up, Patrick? What up, Joe VA?
Oh, this is a good one. Get us to imagine what the jib jab is doing to that as well. I didn't even
Yeah, I
think.
wonder
Yeah.
what the long-term effects are going to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I read that TLC in the Gardens today. Because I knew that certain medications can actually pass through.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like they tell you don't eat gassy foods because the baby will become gassy once you breastfeed them. I mean, when I was going through that stage, so you really had to watch what you were eating, the nutrition value of it. Don't eat junk food. That's what you're passing on to the baby. But my grandmother had 10 kids, so she was a master at all of that. All of them breastfed. We never got sick. We not only were we breastfed, we were also given they called them the clean out. Like every month, everybody had to line up and get Senna, and it cleans your whole system out. Everybody's in the bathroom. But whatever you ate, you it was a monthly thing. Could get this nasty tasting thing and flush your system out, and then you start again. But we hardly ever had to go to the doctor. And
You guys ever had bitters?
yeah, bitters.
Only
Bitter-
bitters I know about is the one you get at the bar, man. It's the only bitters I know about.
Same stuff.
Okay.
Same stuff.
Senna is terrible. It'll wake you up.
Nasty.
Yeah.
But it's good for you.
Get your-
Anything that's bitter is good for you.
yeah.
Yeah, castor oil too. Like
That's well too, yeah. But when you think about it, you really got sick because you were continuously flushing your system out. Probably something we need to start getting back to.
And
Options.
life expectancy, man. That's when people lived.
Yeah.
90s, upper 90s,
In the hundreds. Yep. Mm-hmm.
70 something. You better start making phone calls.
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there. I'm sitting here just thinking back to, the way my grandmother did things and how she raised so many kids, not just her kids, her grandkids. It's she was like a whole hospital by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we definitely. Hey Edna, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
What's your boy 100 to go to work every day? Wow.
Salute to him. They're built different. When I tell you, they're made of hard labor and good food. When you think they got food from their backyards, from the earth. They slept, they worked, they had a routine. They didn't get sidetracked with all this extra, programming from the TVs or all of this other stuff. They just had a set schedule. They took care of their families. They came home. They spent time, went to bed. They had a routine, and it was like clockwork.
And I think socially there's a lot of influence from time. Say, think back to the 50s and the 40s and all. Having a piece of candy was something that was a treat once a week.
Yeah.
Right.
Not every day, all day.
Right.
Yeah, now we get candy, no different than us getting a cup of water,
Right.
Juice or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's a huge difference in the upbringing. So there's definitely a difference in what we now have to combat to make ourselves get back healthy again, because of the influx or the influence that the generation, I'd say at least from the 70s on up, was given from early on. I'm ashamed of myself. I videotaped my son drinking Sprite for the first time, and he was like 2 months old.
Wow.
I forget how old Zach was when we finally decided to let him have some soda. It was a while, because we tried to, and the funny thing was, I mean, once you give them the taste for it, man, that sugar get their brain popping, man. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
My grandmother, she made, I don't know if anybody knows what sorrel is or Moby. There were leaves that produce something like the effects of Kool-Aid, but it came from a plant, and they would sweeten it with honey or cinnamon. Some people like the Moby to be without sugar, but they were good. But they were good for your body as well. So it's
Used to drink it at Christmas time.
All the time. Hot days, it was great. Yeah. So.
But you'll notice a lot of overseas markets will have healthier items. So if you do have family, or if you live in a city that has that small population, even the stores are, owned and operated and shipped and produced or have product that's from that country, is more raw. Is less stepped on, less tampered.
Everything here is processed, and most of the stuff that we put inside the foods in the United States, they don't put them in other places, because that's why they'll have shows where taste this snack from the United States compared to the one from here, and you watch that stuff, people, first thing they say, it's too sweet, it has too much this in it. It's like you expect a certain sort of thing. It's like when you get, because I had learned this when I was eating like some real traditional Mexican food, and I expected it to be like super, a bunch of big giant flavors and everything. And I'm talking to the people that made it, like, no, that's not how we go through that way. It's like, it's not over salted and over, it's made so you can be nourished, not eat it and kill you eventually.
Right.
In the United States, that's what it's all about. And I don't think that's a mistake. It is super expensive to eat very healthy in this country. If you want to eat like trash, you can eat all day long, eat like trash all day. But if you want to eat very healthy, it's going to cost you a bag. And that's just the truth. And then they do that on purpose. I believe so. I don't believe it's by mistake.
Yeah. We sure did have fruit trees. You can climb in somebody's backyard and pick it right off. And it's healthy. Yep.
Carbon, FYI, I reached out to that doula. I provided her with your contact information.
Okay.
Just be on the lookout for Earth Mother Healing.
Thank you.
If you want to check out her site, it's Earth Mother, MUTTHER Healing. That's what she goes by. She's very, 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 very. She's the smartest person I know. So
get in touch with her, and we'll hopefully we can have her on next Saturday. And hi Ruby.
When you said that, Billy, I thought about that. I remember being a kid and go to someone's house, and if they had candy, it was like, ooh, they have candy. You get a piece of candy. Now
one piece.
It's like right here, right, one piece. Now it's just like, some candy everywhere. I remember that. It was exciting. They didn't like that anymore.
It was exciting.
I remember we used to go to the pharmacy for candy.
Yeah.
And it didn't come packaged. You had to get a plastic bag or paper bag. You have to scoop it in. So you used to get a half pound or whatever it was. They had like gummy stuff, gummy Swedish fish and all that. And me and my older brother were addicted to the first, to the first fruit roll-ups. Now, originally, fruit roll-ups were like a healthy. You can see the fruit.
They were healthy.
Right.
Seeds
Back
and
in the day.
from the strawberries and whatever.
They weren't as appealing because it was like real fruit roll-ups.
Yeah.
Then when we started adding extra sugar to it and stuff, it sort of changed. It was more of like a natural sort of snack. That changed though.
It was so good.
Yeah.
If I could get my hands, it was so good that you used to smell it through the wrapper. You just ask that section in the damn market, whatever store you go to, and it was like Bath and Body Works for a kid. It was like ooh, peach, strawberry, cherry, whatever, and it was just so real.
You see what type of impression that natural sugar made on your brain? Because when you think about it now,
I'm thinking about it right now.
It's true.
I can smell it right now.
Yeah. I thought it was just me, BP. I was smelling strawberries. I was like, oh man, those were so.
I'm going to give me some fruit roll up.
But yeah, man, if we could go back, give me 1984, give me 85, something like that.
I'd say 77.
I was only 3 BP.
But
I damn sure was thought.
We were
I wouldn't
different.
even
Kids stayed out in the street until the lamp came on, the street light came on. You were riding bikes, you were jumping rope, you were skipping, you were playing tag, you were outside.
You didn't get to go in the house. If you were in the house, your parents, what are you doing inside?
Right. Go outside and play.
I need the water. Go to the water hole.
Right. Yeah, go outside and play. That's right.
Take your ass outside because we're in here trying to make you a big brother right now.
That body was constantly moving, constantly sweating out toxins out in the street in that hot sun, just getting all that good fresh air. Majority of times, even as adults, we're stuck in here on this, just everyday life. Everything has been in these little boxes, whether it's your phone or your computer. Sometimes we got to get out there and get in the sun and get that natural vitamin, that natural fresh air. Just being in the grass, just being around. I mean, yeah, your allergies might go crazy, but at the end of the day, you still need that.
Need that vitamin D?
Otherwise,
Yeah. Imagine the amount of people who don't get direct sunlight.
So why?
Vitamin D deficiency is so prevalent, especially for women right now. It's insane. It's insane, the numbers on that.
Throughout the world, there's a huge vitamin D deficiency.
Yes.
But, in some countries, they actually fortify their food. I know, like in Norway, I think is one. They fortify like a real heavy fortification of vitamin D in their foods because they know that they don't get sun and stuff like that.
Northern latitudes, yeah.
It sure did, Devereaux. Your parents would kick you right out the house. Why you in here? Get outside.
Right, get out. Right, go outside and play.
You can get to go outside.
And going outside and play with your friends gave you critical thinking. It made you learn how to work with other people. It made you, learn to socialize. You guys will fight, but the next day y'all back outside playing again. And a lot
Think about this. You just really, really hit something on the head, Carbon. Survival.
Yeah.
What's the first survival game that you learned?
Hide and go seek.
Hide and go seek.
Shit, we've been doing this for a long time. God, long time.
Evade and avoid. Yep, that's yeah.
We used to have these things called water yards, especially where I lived at in Queens, because it was like its own separate water system at the time. So that's what we used to do. We used to play manhunt. We'd be in the water yard for hours, man, doing stuff like that. My mind is going back to I'm having some real fond memories right now.
We just came up. We used to have rock fights.
I
remember in LA, it was rock fights. You have this big dirt field, and the guys from the other block versus our block, and throwing like.
And you didn't think nothing of it. You didn't care if you throwing a rock at a person. Throwing a rock at
dirt rocks, but I got hit in the back of the head, and I still have a knot on the back of my head where a guy threw a rock. But I got caught slipping. It was like, bam.
You had a hell of a time that day, though, didn't you? Right up until the time you got hit with that rock.
I was having fun until then.
You ain't been right ever since.
But
And
it
I
also
tell you, the queen.
you got not social skills, but you actually had contact. Where we're so now this generation, everything is so stay away from each other. We actually had physical contact with each other. You were able to do so much more, and physical contact is a big deal for just your mental health, just being able to, sit down with your buddies in your plane, whatever you're
No,
doing.
Bagley. That's the one that hit me in the head. I just I'm sorry.
It creates memories. It's a lot of things that go on that we're being cut off from.
It's funny that you say that, because a lot of times you fall into that, and I can be guilty of that, because I'll do this. I try to make a conscious effort, even with little Zach.
Mm-hmm.
I try to make it, because I don't even know what it is. It's not because you just don't think about it or how you move or whatever, but there's such like I don't know, it's a distance. You be right there.
Mm-hmm.
You doing your thing, I'm doing my thing. So I try to make it my business to, like, every once in a while just grab him up, just so he can feel me grab him up, and grab on him and say, Daddy love you, kiss him on his head or whatever. Just so, because it's something about it. I know what you mean. It's about that whole touch thing.
Mm-hmm.
It means something. It's an extra added. I remember that, being close to your friends out in the street. You talking about it, it makes me have a certain sort of feeling, and I'm thinking about it now. I remember that. It was totally different being around all your boys, and there'd be 20 of you standing around. It was something about that. Everybody
dapping up everybody,
right, stuff like that.
Camaraderie is teaching you loyalty. It teaches you to be so much of a better human being, because it was never about you. It was always about me and my girls, me and my guys. Even though if you had like this is our block, this is not your block, or wars or football wars, or games.
You defended that block.
That's right.
And
you were outside every day. Wasn't no in the house on nothing. Every day was outside. I remember that.
Yep. And then when you got back in the house, I'm sorry, when you got back in the house, you were planning for the next day. You were never staying. Oh, we're gonna get them back next week. We're gonna get them tomorrow. This is what we're gonna do. You were making little plans, even down to what is it when you fill the water in the balloons?
Water balloon fights.
Yeah, the water balloon fight.
Those strategies. You're like, I will be behind this tree. You're gonna be over there. No, I'm not gonna say it again because I can't pronounce that word. So y'all just let me slide with that. But, yeah.
The cleanest part of my bicycle was the kickstand.
Right, that's right.
I never used that shit.
The reason why it was the cleanest part of my bike is because I used to take them off. I ain't no kickstand. I leave it somewhere in the garage.
I always use my kickstand.
I just laid on the ground.
I was like,
it just laid on the ground.
To get that Schwinn, man.
It was a tool. It was just to get me around and travel. And just
I had a Schwinn 5-speed. I took care of that thing like it was gold. It was like,
and that's another.
The shifter in the middle.
Yep, like a stick shift.
That kickstand caused a lot of injuries to a lot of people's shins.
Well, yeah, it did. Luckily, I didn't.
If you was gonna get a beating, you would have took a beating for that one. You don't understand how this hurts.
That's why I used the kickstand. I used to keep that thing up. The back tire was like the slick tire.
Yeah.
At some point, they decided that they were gonna. I don't know what it is, because I do agree with that. They decided that they were gonna make our kids soft. That's the way I look at it.
Me too.
I listen to some things now, even with Zach in school. And I remember one time being in, we had this big, it was open house before school started. And the lady was like, the teacher was like, well, if they have homework, if it gets too hard, you don't got to push them, just back off. And I started thinking, what type of bullshit is that? If it gets hard, you don't just quit. Damn it, you get tougher and you fight through it, and you go through it. I don't understand that. Making our kids soft.
The other thing, Zach, you mentioned it before, that sensory thing that you get from touching people and being around people. What's one of the things they do when they're trying to control your mind? Sensory deprivation.
Right.
They get us away from interacting on a certain level, and we become antisocial. And you see, what's the big thing about kids today? They're antisocial.
Right.
They don't know. They don't have those interactions. And that's one of those things which I'm sure is not accidental, but once you start separating people from one another, you can't touch
everybody is socially awkward.
Everybody.
Thank you. You know what it also taught you? It taught you you saw who the leaders were. you saw how you actually were taught to be fearless going outside and play. Because you were going to be doing what everybody else was doing, whether it was jumping over logs or jumping over that creek, or riding that bike in traffic, or being the person that's on the front of the bike while somebody's, you know how dangerous that is when you think about it.
Right.
Your vision, but you like this riding through traffic with them. It taught you to be fearless, and you kind of went through your life like, we survived that, we're good. It just bred a different type of person.
And that type of stuff right now too. I mean, just having a young child right now in school,
Mhm.
that stuff is frowned upon. And
Yeah.
when you have a child who is, especially because you know when you're an only child, there's differences with that, and you become very independent. Especially if you live and if you're around a lot of adults, you have different ideas and stuff that they don't want you to have that sort of like be a person who can like stand alone or whatever. It has to be the group thing. You can't be a critical thinker. You can't be a leader because true leaders don't think the way everybody else does. And if you try to do that, it's almost they frown upon it. I know that from experience. You got to be, just go along to get along and do what everybody else is doing. If you try to be anything other than what everybody else is, it's frowned upon. You can't be a leader because if you try to, something's wrong with you because you're not doing what everybody else is doing. And I don't remember that. I don't remember that when I was growing up. It was taught you're supposed to be a leader. You need to be able to stand alone sometimes. You don't need everybody all the time. Nowadays, they frown on that. It's funny when you listen, you sit in rooms with people and you listen to them like, what's wrong with you? These children can't, you're making these people who can't be leaders.
Right. Or they have emotional issues. They're easily bullied. When you're outside in that street playing without there, you gotta learn how to wheel and deal. Right. You gotta learn how to reason. You gotta learn there's always a peacemaker. There's always the one that's wild and crazy. There's always the one that's like, hey guys, let's plan this out. The other one that's like, no, let's just do it. Have it. We'll just, the beating only lasts like 5 minutes. We'll get over it.
Exactly. There's always that guy. So you just go get a whooping. It ain't gonna be nothing in the last few minutes, but we still have fun. There's always that one guy.
And you learn to have fun with whatever you had. You would use the leaves. You would use twigs, sticks, everything. You'll take an old mattress, and somebody else just said she loves Cam, jumping and doing flips. You didn't need all these high-tech things. You worked with whatever was around you, which is another survival skill that we had young. And now it's
finding a mattress was like a diamond in the rough. A dirty ass old mattress.
Right.
You don't know.
You don't know what happened on that mattress.
Oh my God.
Again, fearless. You was not in the mindset of everything is a germ, everything is this. You were just there to have fun. Yeah.
It's funny because that stuff carries over. Carries over as an adult, and then when you start doing those things, some people look at you like you're crazy. I'm like, but that's how I came up. I wasn't scared of this. I wasn't scared of that. It's dirty. Okay, yeah. So what?
Right.
You know how many dirty puddles of water I done jumped in and swam in? It was flooding in the city and nasty mattresses and going all type of crazy stuff. Right. And when you get older, that stuff carries with you.
Yeah. Little rascals.
Jumping on dirty mattresses. Huh?
What'd you say?
I said you still jumping on dirty mattresses?
Nah, not now. It was one and I wanted to.
Look at building a fort.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
So when now we're at this age trying to figure out how to build shelters, right? Like you did a lot of survival things when you were young coming up.
It wasn't called prepping or survival back then. It was just having fun and getting out and going to the country.
Doing playing with your friends.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I could climb a tree. I was like that fearless kid. Like say it and it's done. Yeah. And I would climb a tree as far as I'd be on the top of somebody's house. And I don't know what the interest in this was. But I used to break the shingles off the top of the houses and make like ninja stars.
Yeah, you throw them.
Yeah, remember throwing those things?
I remember that. We should do that. I was telling those stories to Zach the other day, and my wife was like, "But you don't do that now." I used to climb up garages and roofs and all types of stuff. It was crazy. We had fun.
About the tiles.
Yeah, you take them and break them. You had to make them. You had to get the right one.
Make certain size and shape.
Exactly.
Make it just.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember I got locked out on a roof one time. Climbed off the tree onto somebody's roof, thinking that the window was going to be open, and the window was locked. The lady was not letting me in. I was getting baked. It was like 100 degrees out there. I had to jump. I jumped.
Every applicant I took it because I knew I did 50 things that I knew I didn't get caught for. And the one time we would jump from garage to garage, like in the movie that's out straight out of Compton, where they're jumping from house to house. That was the thing in South Central.
Wow.
And me and my friends, we were doing that. I was supposed to have my ass in the house. My mom came home early. I was mid-air. And I looked and saw her pulled up in the driveway. And it was like, it was like, uh-oh. Now I look, okay, I better land it, because if I don't make it, I'm going to get another ass if I not make it. So I landed. I got beat that day, yeah. So I got caught that time. But
your ass should have just kept jumping.
Everybody has slingshots back in the day. You're right. You used to make it out of anything.
Yo, that's the other part. Toys, you can make toys.
Yeah.
You find a branch that's shaped like a gun.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Pew, 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 all over.
You had that gun for like months.
Right.
Crazy. Simplicity, man.
Yeah. Get your mother hair dryer. She cursing you out. You over there. Your brother over there behind the door with the it's all kinds of stuff. Somebody started making bows and arrows. You did a whole lot of things.
I got my front tooth knocked out by my brother. We were playing Cowboys and Indians. I knew I should have chose the Indian because I didn't know how impressive that was. So I was a cowboy. He was the Indian, his younger brother, and I was in this big tub of, like, I guess it was an old shipping container. I was coming up shooting, and he had a curtain rod, like the old school curtain rods made out of steel. And I came up and he threw it at me, got me right, chipped my tooth, boom, knocked my tooth out.
Ooh.
Forget that.
And that was normal back in the day.
That was fun.
Everybody had a missing tooth. School pictures is always a tooth missing, something crazy on them.
Because you did something. Somebody always had a cast or something, because you actually did things. You were climbing on something, you fall, you break something, all of it because you actually did physical stuff. And you be laughing the whole time with your cast on. Even when I don't watch guys when the arm got broke, they be laughing. You come back, look at my cast, come sign this.
Be getting out of class 5 minutes early. They send somebody with you to carry your books.
Right. That's crazy.
Right. I forgot about that. Jeez.
Who said fireflies?
I love fireflies.
There has been a decline with we call them lightning bugs.
Lightning bugs, yeah.
There's been a decline in those things over the years, because I can remember being a kid during this time of the year when it started getting really warm. They would be everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's so noticeable now, because like I'll take Zach out, we'll go out if it's dark and we'll be looking for him. You can't find one, and it's nothing but trees and crap around here. I'm talking about, I was living in Queens, New York, in the concrete jungle, and lightning bugs were everywhere. Trees and grass and stuff. You can't find. You may find 5.
And we used to catch them, and the nice people would catch them and put them in a jar.
No, we did.
Catch them and then write our name in the ground, so our name was like.
That's right. You pull it off and just take it.
Hey, come on.
Fucked up, but yeah. Damn, innocent.
Right, you know.
Shoot, bottle caps. You're right. Somebody was talking about pigs on the bike. That was like you had a bike, you was good to go.
Yeah. If you had a GT Performer, what else was I had a Sigma.
If you had a BMX.
If you had a BMX,
Mongoose,
a Red Line, a Mongoose.
I'm old school. Mine was a Schwinn with the stick shift. That was I finally got my Schwinn with the stick shift.
That was a whole decade. What was that Mongoose called? Mongoose Decade. It was called the Decade.
Because that was cool. If you had a Mongoose, everybody wanted a Mongoose if you had one of those.
Yeah.
Hit that like.
And then if you had the front and back pegs, your parents loved you.
Right, exactly.
They really spent money on your ass. Man.
You used your imagination. You wanted to make that sound. You put the card inside the spokes. And
That's right.
Like you just learn to use your creativity and just about everything. Just learning to play outside. You'll find a way to make it happen. Hey, Lady
We used
Smith.
to take a soda can and we run over the soda can and let it catch into the back tire.
Yep.
What you think 20 motorcycles come down the block?
Do you remember Big Wheel? Oh man.
Yeah, I remember Big Wheel.
Yeah.
I was already too big when Big Wheels came out. I was like, damn, I wish I
take the
could
seat off. You don't even sit down on it. You take the seat off and you put your foot on it. It's like a skateboard. You push it a little bit.
Yeah. Ready Rage, I think the green machine came out. Big Wheel. Yeah.
The good ones had a brake on it, so you could do a skid. You could hit the brake
On the right hand side. Yep.
Power slide. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, man.
You just be all kinds of crazy when you got over there. Did you see that?
And I don't know when this happened, but it kind of missed my age. But like right after, trampolines became like the home necessity. Everybody had a damn trampoline.
I never liked trampolines because I seen too many people get broken bones and too many injuries. I was never a trampoline fan.
Yeah.
That thing's dangerous. Skateboarding, I did skateboarding like crazy.
Skateboarding, I used to be fun back in the day.
I still got my skateboard in the closet right now.
No, I ain't trying to get on it. I still get on it. Nobody's skateboard now. That ain't happening.
It's fun, man. Just to see if I still got it. So I get on mine.
That's right. Saturday afternoon kung fu movies. This must be from New York. Because 3 o'clock on Saturday, the streets were clear because you were at somebody's house watching a kung fu movie.
The Flying Guillotine.
Five Fingers of Death.
Five Deadly Venoms. The Man with the Golden Arms.
The drunk monkey, all kinds of stuff.
Yep.
It was
Lady Kung Fu. Remember Lady Kung Fu with the.
What time did Soul Train come on?
In LA, it was 11 o'clock, 11 a.m.
In the morning.
We had to have the house clean by 11.
Yes, you sure
we could watch Soul Train at 11 o'clock.
Yep.
Yeah, sure. So Queen Red Pills a question: can you store dry beans, rice, grain, etc., in a glass mason jar and just add an oxygen absorber to it?
I would get an attachment with a food saver and seal it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, they have the what's the thing that goes on top of the can and it sucks the air out?
I don't know what it's called, but I know it came with my food saver. It's like a little, you got a body attachment and you hook it to it, and you can still put an oxygen absorber in there if you want to for like extra, but then you put it on, you screw the jar on, and it'll basically suck all the air out of it, and then it'll keep, just like if you canned it, because you do that with dry beans, you can do that with anything that's dry, rice.
That's the big thing. I saw one thing recently this week. They were saying making sure only those dry goods, anything that has any kind of moisture, like raisins or stuff like, you cannot put that oxygen absorber in.
No.
Yeah.
It has to be dry.
Hey, Yoki.
Hey, Monique King. Yoki, what up?
Yeah, hi, Yoki. Hi, Monique. How are you?
Monique.
Hey, Devil Road. So, yeah.
If you guys want to see some good hunting and survival, check out Yoki Stir Up.
Good recipes, too.
Yes.
Cooking it up.
She shoots, she cooks. When you see her hunting those hogs, you're gonna be like, "Holy cow!" But at the end of the day, she's getting ready to do hiking and camping. So if you're not following Yoki Stir, please, you are going to enjoy her channel. Cooking as well, man.
Yeah, that cooking.
Yes, absolutely.
In the field and in the kitchen.
Lady Smith, what up?
Yes.
I feel some oxtails I watch her make.
Even the iguana, I was ready to eat that up.
Yeah, look. The only thing I didn't like about it was when she was eating, it had the web feet. I saw when she put, that messed me up. When I saw she had the piece and had the web feet on it, I was like, nah.
I would eat those feet. Not eating them. They look good. I'm sorry. That looked good. That was good eating.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we had a great time growing up, and sometimes I wish the kids, you could look outside the window and see the kids playing. It was fun.
Yeah, you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
I don't see kids playing, riding bikes, any of that anymore.
My family went out to dinner only on Friday, and it wasn't out to a restaurant. I didn't go to a restaurant until I was like mid-teenager. McDonald's on Friday, that was it.
Yeah.
There wasn't no
Chinese
Monday,
restaurant.
I don't feel like.
Yeah. Chinese restaurant or Golden Bird. That was a big thing.
We would go to McDonald's, or my father used to take us to Gabby's Pizza in Queens Village. That spot is still there now. Right? He takes us to Gabby's to get pizza. That was the most going out to eat we did.
We used to go to Ground Round. You ever hear that place?
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember that?
Ground
Been going
round.
a long time. Ground round been going a long
Long.
time. I remember them.
Way old. And I didn't go there until I was like 13, 14 years old.
Mm.
You know, I had no need, want, or worry about restaurants.
Going out to eat was foreign. My mother would cook all the time. That's why I said you would every once in a while you go to get some McDonald's, or you would end up at the pizza spot.
What was dinner for y'all? Like my dinner was Salisbury steak and mashed potatoes.
Yeah, my mother used to make, smothered hamburgers, rice and collard greens, and some fried chicken and cube steak, things like that. Sundays you had the big dinner, you had turkey wings, macaroni and cheese, stuff like that.
Damn.
My mom cooked everything, but she always had to put something special on it. So she couldn't just cook like Cornish hen. She had to stuff it with this and that and the other. Like, Mom, just make it regular. We just want regular. It's regular spaghetti, not all this other stuff. It's regular.
I bet they will.
I was picky, but when my grandmother made curry chicken and roti,
that was it.
That was it. I'm staying.
Yeah, that thing. That's why that whole cooking thing, man. That's all really going out to restaurants and stuff. That's something as I became an adult that I did a lot more, because my mother, to this day, my mother still cooks. She cooks for my father every day. They go out and they eat sometimes, but for the most part, and that's what she did she cooked for us. Like, even that sort of stopped when she started, after she became a nurse. But then my father would cook, and he would cook every day. So it's just like, that was something that, like I said, going to the restaurant was a real treat.
Are you guys teaching your boys to cook? You guys teaching your boys? I'm teaching mine to cook because my mom taught me how to cook. I've never had a girlfriend, wife, anybody who could cook as good or even cooked. All three of my wives, none of them cooked.
Yeah, because all of us, it's me and my other two brothers. It was just my mother taught all of us how to cook, and now my oldest, he's aspires to be some sort of chef, and he's learning all the stuff from my mother. So yeah, every man need to know how to cook.
And my nephew's a master. He's a master chef in LA. But so I think all men, they need to know. Everybody needs to, so you're not dependent on somebody else.
That's right.
Economically, it's a thing too. You save money.
Let me ask you a question. What was the first thing that you were exposed to that kept you in the house for entertainment?
It kept me in the house. Oh, encyclopedias.
Yeah.
My dad, every year they would buy the Encyclopedia Britannica, and I would just go through from A to Z, every page, go through that. And they had this book of world history that they had. I would go through that book every day. Then he had another, like the Homer, the Iliad. I would just, it's always books. Keep me my ass in the house. Then he bought the Time Life series of the Earth, the universe, the this, that, and see.
Yeah.
I remember being on the floor in the living room, just, boy, go outside, go got them damn books. And it was like, so books for me.
I gotta say, the first thing that kept me in the house was probably video games.
Yeah.
It was video games, and when I was allowed to use the phone.
Yeah. Yep. And you'd be sitting there breathing on the phone with some girl for hours.
That's right. I say
hours. Shoot, we got 10 minutes. Get off of my line.
Ever, man.
Going to sleep on the damn phone.
Exactly.
Like, you still there? You still there?
You got that long cord sitting on the floor.
Because we didn't have. It was funny because my father didn't like. He was real old school. So like, he didn't like remote controls for television. He didn't like call his phone.
You were the remote control.
Right, exactly. So like, I can remember him. I can remember the remote control, quote unquote, getting lost, and then 5 years later, he just took it and hit it. And then with the phone, you couldn't have a cordless phone, so I had like a 150-foot cord. I wrapped that joint from the kitchen all the way up around the stairs and the bathroom so I can go over my room, stuff like that.
Yeah, top of this funny. He said finding certain VHS stash.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. Yep. Sega Master System.
Still got it.
Yep.
Still got it.
It still works.
64.
Still works.
I got a game. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you, Billy.
Yeah.
Fantasy Star. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yep.
Like you had to go like through the flowers and shit.
Yep, and through mazes and all types of stuff. We used to play that game for hours.
It sure was. But if I could go outside, I was outside. I don't care. Only time I wanted to come in was when Kung Fu Theater came on.
Yeah, we stayed outside. I mean, it's funny when I start thinking about this, man. Every Saturday, that's what we did. I had my man Lamont. We were the first two out in the morning, and it's funny because the first thing we do, we go to the corner store, go to the bodega, get a turkey and cheese and lettuce and tomato, get 2 quarter waters, we split it. And the rest of the day we eat, and the rest of the day we just be running around the neighborhood till somebody had to go. That's what we did.
The only other show that used to bring me in was Leonard Nimoy, I think it was, and he used to travel the world. Yeah, and it was crazy. Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
I used to. I don't know why I did this, but I used to catch snakes. Like that was the cool thing in the neighborhood. We get a bucket.
Yeah, we have a lot of snakes in Queens.
Like we go out there, we lift up every board at a construction site or behind Kentucky Fried Chicken or something like that, and it'd be 10 snakes. You grab them or you step on them and then you grab them, whatever.
Nope.
To catch snakes a lot.
Nope. Not intentionally looking for no damn snake. No.
Yeah, I'm not looking for them. But when my grandmother sent me to the laundromat to do the laundry, boy, the clothes used to come back wet. I was playing Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I spent hours on that.
There was always something back, like in my neighborhood. We had the number hole. The number hole was the arcade / gambling spot / everything.
Yeah. Used to play Golden Axe.
That's right.
What was
and
this?
Double Dragon.
Dun, 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 it used to drive the wheel.
Outrun.
Spy Hunt. Yeah. Man, you can get me out that laundromat. Being there like for 5 hours. Why are these clothes wet? Oh well, the machine don't work.
ColecoVision, man. I heard that.
I had all those from Atari 2600, the 8000, and television, ColecoVision. I had all. I wish I had all those consoles still. I had
the Commodore
64. Television, the Odyssey. I mean, there were a lot of. I remember the one game. I forget. It was like the first one. It had like a huge giant revolver type gun that came with. It looked like a real gun, but it just shot light.
Yeah. Pitfall. I used to love Pitfall.
Pitfall was a great game, man.
Oh, Pitfall. I used to get in the game. You start and you go backwards. How long did it take to do that? You go backwards. I used to love Pitfall. Space Harrier.
Space Harrier. That was one of my favorites, man. I used to play. I love that.
Yeah.
They had a game called Zaxxon on the ColecoVision.
Oh, I remember that. I remember Zaxxon.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah, it used to be fun. But you used to every Saturday meet up and you would have video games with the champ because you could write your name, like 3 letters of your name.
Your name go, see if your name is still up there.
You see that name, you know who's running it. All kinds of stuff. But it was fun. And life nowadays, you miss a lot of those good things.
Yeah. And some things you never forget.
Yeah.
Up, down, left, right, BA, start. Will never be out of my head. Ever.
Why is that still in your brain?
It's still there. And I haven't touched any of those Contra, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, none of that.
Yeah,
Always gonna be there.
Yep.
Happy time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shooting pool was fun too.
Yeah, I was the only one in my family that sucked at friggin' pool. Everybody else was like pool sharks, and I couldn't make a shot if you put a gun in my head. I didn't get that gene, so I never liked pool.
Speaking of pool,
table in the sky.
The actual swimming pool in the town, like the public pool or whatever.
I need the can.
What a beautiful place.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We did in New York. We had it was O'Connor Park. It was named after a police officer that got shot up there. And I remember the pool used to always be popping, man. Then what happened is the reason they closed it, kid went in there after hours and he was high. Ended up drowning. So they closed the pool, tore the pool down. I remember that was the spot. Everybody used to go to the pool, man. They tore the pool down and put up these big statues with lion heads on them that water spurted out instead of having a pool.
Do you remember block parties?
Yeah, block parties, man. Oh yeah.
And the truck used to come in. The truck had water. It was a pool on wheels. it, man.
What?
You know how
Pool on
deep-
wheels.
yeah, the back of the truck.
That's that city shit.
Off,
Yeah, that's type of stuff that happened.
Yeah. And the truck would come on the block, so that was our pool. We didn't have a community pool,
They
and when I
just
say that,
spray the water or what?
huh?
They
It
spray
came
the
with-
water or
No, the water came in it. It was a truck with the top off, and it had water already inside of it.
what?
Yeah, and it used to come to your block, so the kids had a pool on the block for the block party, and it was just a good time. We had an amazing time.
Block parties was so much fun, man.
I remember when
got me thinking about it, was great.
people used to take the fire hydrant, open the fire hydrant up,
Oh yeah, man.
and take a can or whatever and let that joker leak.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
What up, lady?
What they did was they had started changing all the caps, and they put the sprinkler inside the cap. So if you open it, because they didn't like you using too much water, because all the water pressure in the entire neighborhood will go down once you open up the fire hydrant. You just blasting it all over the place. So they changed the caps on them so they'll be like a sprinkler. So they let you do it. That lasted for several years, and then after a while they said, "No, we're just gonna lock them down so you can't use them anymore."
Yeah. And if you were like a really awful person on the block, like real tough, they used to wet you down. Something.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, they were like,
You had 5 windows open.
It was a lot of fun, though. We had a
That's
good
crazy.
time.
We didn't have that in LA. We had the pool, the community pool. So Dorsey High was the pool you go, and everybody would hang up from the hood, go up to Dorsey High. My brother and I, who we ended up being lifeguards eventually, but that's how we learned how to swim. My brother was on my dad's shoulder. I was on his hand. He took me, boom, threw me in the water. Took my brother, boom, threw him in the water.
That's how you learn to swim, yeah.
I remember looking like, he's like, paddle.
And don't let nobody splash you, boy. It'd be a fight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Straight up fight.
I still don't know how to swim till today.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta
Wait,
learn.
you grew up in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Bronx, the 80s in the Bronx, though.
That's different. That's
I don't want no part.
That was different than
It was, it wasn't bad. I lived on most of the block I lived on. It was mostly family. We were so sheltered that I didn't realize that I lived in the ghetto until I was like a teenager and started really learning that it was supposed to have been hard times, but how we were raised on my block, I didn't even notice. I mean, it was a lot of we were the only 4 buildings on the whole block. Like the next block was abandoned, then it was a school, and after the school was abandoned. But I was on 3rd Ave, 172nd. Y'all know the Bronx area. But yeah, we grew up on a real protected childhood, so I had no clue that I was growing up in the ghetto.
Let me put y'all all into a little drift away. Just a soft space in your history.
That's Mr. Softy, man.
Yo, Mr. Softy's coming.
You want to see kids freeze in the middle of what they're doing?
Just hear the ice cream music.
Yeah.
Yo, you don't know if you're gonna run to the truck or to your parents.
Right, because you
You
need some
gotta
money.
stop the truck, but you don't trust the truck, so
Right.
you're trying to get your parents and then cut them off and catch them on the next block.
Somebody had to block them, stop them.
If you were smart, you would ask your parents for the money, but ahead of time, you'll be like, when the ice cream guy comes, you'll have somebody got it in your pocket waiting.
I
When the
couldn't
ice
eat
cream
from the
man
ice
was
cream
cool,
truck.
he would stop on it. He would just stop on the block. He wouldn't just keep going. Even if he ain't seen nobody, he just stopped for a few minutes.
Somebody go.
Everybody would just come.
Yeah.
I couldn't eat from the ice cream truck. I couldn't go to the bodega store. My mom was mad straight. I didn't put no sugar in my food. I didn't drink Kool-Aid, if you could believe that. I didn't drink Kool-Aid.
Right.
My mother was on a health kick. She one time she tried goat milk. That was nasty. So I didn't was able to do all of that, eating candy and all that stuff that.
We drank so much Kool-Aid, my inside's probably a rainbow. That was a staple in our house. We had my mother still had it was a brown can. I don't know what came in that can originally, but that's where the Kool-Aid went. Inside that can. We would buy
I
Kool-Aid.
only got to drink it like if I went to a cousin's house and she wasn't there.
You guys remember when they went from the small little packages to the big?
Yeah, the big giant ones.
You just stuff that whole mug in there, get that 5-pound bag of sugar.
How did y'all make it though? Because my mom made me put in steaming hot water for about 2 inches. Pour the sugar, pour the flavor, stir it until that melted, but it had to be in the hot water.
You had to have
And
the
fill it up
granule.
the sink with cold water.
I was banned from making the Kool-Aid because I didn't know I didn't put enough sugar in it, so they wouldn't let me make it.
You have like a half-gallon container. 2 packs of Kool-Aid and 2 cups of sugar. You know how much sugar that is? And then sometimes when you want to be fancy, you put some lemons in there.
Yeah.
Yo, but look, but when y'all was done with the Kool-Aid and you ripped it open, did you pour water in it to get the dust?
That's facts.
I ain't making no sugar. I just went by after pour it in there, you stir, you taste it. It ain't sweet enough, put some more sugar in there. So
I never tasted. I knew it was gonna be good.
That's why we had it down. That's right. 2 cups of sugar, 2 packs of Kool-Aid, you're good.
Right, locked in. That's how it goes.
And don't make it up because everybody asking in the house, who made the Kool-Aid?
Yo, I'm mad.
That's what happened when I made it. Yo, who made this?
Yogi said that's exactly how I make mine. You still drinking Kool-Aid, Yogi? What the
I ain't had
fuck?
Kool-Aid all night.
My survival prep. I have Kool-Aid in there. Yeah, absolutely in my cupboard, right along with
Man,
the-
My cousins used to drink Flavor Aid, and I used to be like, bro, I'm not drinking
Now,
that
now
shit.
if you couldn't break it, if you have flavor aid, you're like, wait a minute, what is this? No flavor.
Bootleg.
It always has a little
It's
flavor or
nasty.
something.
You know what I made? My mother bought me the frozen orange juice. Do y'all remember those?
Yeah, we got
I
Concentrate.
The department. That
Yeah.
was my Kool-Aid with no sugar, just water. Let it just add water to it, and that was my Kool-Aid.
Yogi, what's your favorite flavor? Mine's to this day still tropical punch. That's my
Better
favorite.
not be no Ecto Green Cooler.
Very Kool-Aid.
Yep. All flavors. She said all flavors.
Anything red.
all of them ain't good though.
Cherry, strawberry. I love it.
Yeah, red.
They had a strawberry though. I think it was cherry, but I like the cherry.
She said the 3 packs were $1.13 in Miami.
Shit, they used to be
I
10
remember they were 10 cents a pack. That's when you go in the grocery store.
Hey.
Get 10 of them.
Two of each.
T-Rex said
Yep.
he poured sugar until he hears his ancestors say that's enough. That was hilarious.
Yo, you used to get that pack of Kool-Aid, boy. You gotta.
That's right. You got to do it like that.
That's crazy.
Damn, man, life was so good.
Man,
I mean,
I'm going to make me
Simple
Kool-Aid
things.
today.
Simple things.
I'm making me some Kool-Aid today, for sure.
Low class. Oh man.
he used to have a good time. It just feels good to laugh. Seeds had just said it in. Absolutely. I think sometimes there's so much going on in the world. It's just good to sit back and laugh and have a good time. I know we're supposed to talk about prepping, but it's to laugh.
You don't have to
Talking
make
about how we were prepped.
This is about this is part of prepping. Having a good peace of mind, good laugh. That's good. You gotta have a good peace of mind. This is part of prepping too.
Don't start with the blow pops. That was part of your hairdo. Have you hair up?
All women used to have 2 of them in the back.
Yes. Hi, Daryl.
Y'all have y'all old board games in case the lights go out. We got our Monopoly and our we got coloring books and crayons.
If the
And
lights go out, somebody getting pregnant, goddamn it.
Okay.
Monopoly was serious. Everybody had a assigned piece. Don't take the other person's piece.
Oh yeah, don't take
That's right. Mine was a sneaker.
No.
Yeah, we used to play Monopoly like we was playing poker games. We literally be down in a basement somewhere for hours. The sun be up when you leave, like damn, it's about to come up again. We be playing Monopoly for hours.
Hey, hi,
Shoots and ladders. I used to love shoots and ladders.
That was good too. Life.
life, that was that was the longest. That game took forever.
It did. Life and Payday. Them games were long.
Monopoly took forever. That's why I used to.
Monopoly, I could never understand. Even when they play it on the video game, I don't want to play. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. I'm like, I don't understand this shit.
Yeah. Chess was great too.
Yeah. We used to go to the park and watch the old men play chess, and they bring you in and teach you. Hey, sit down, young buck.
I never learned how to play chess. Checkers.
I learned how to play chess when I was like 7, 6.
My grandfather actually taught me. Yeah. Uncle Red, Grandpa Red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What up, Hot Tub?
Yep.
Grandpa Red. Yeah.
We had a good time growing up. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And spades. Oh, I was playing spades when I was about maybe 12.
Grandpa
11.
Red, my grandmother, again, he taught us how to do that, play spades, and farm worms. But if you didn't make your book, if you're under bed,
You got out. Yeah.
That was it.
We didn't.
Man,
My
I
father,
said,
they played bid whist. They didn't play spades. They played bid whist. That was they
I declare war was a good one.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you go down. You play. I declare war.
My aunts and uncles used to play pinochle.
Mhm.
Pinochle?
I never understood.
I
Yeah,
don't know how to play that.
I never understood pinochle.
Battleship did cause fights. Boy, you say about Battleship. It was
Yeah,
like,
Erica and Alex be playing that every other night. Still,
Pity pat.
Yeah.
mhm.
That was the game, pity pat.
Mm-hmm.
who played Hot Hands? Anybody know what Hot Hands is?
Is that the
This
thing we
one?
do like this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you put a hot
I
hand.
remember playing that with
Put
the
'em out there.
boys.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that game we used to play when if you lost you got punched in the arm? You
like
had
the
to
Flint
take a-
one.
Oh,
I can't remember what
that sounds
was.
familiar.
Punch
I remember
buggy?
getting punched. Punch
Punch,
bug?
no, not punch buggy. It was something else. And you had to take a punch in the arm for it if you
Then
lost.
we would play chest. So if you walk in your buddy's
Chest.
chest slipping, bam, you're talking. You had to react.
Open chest. Yeah, open chest.
Oh yeah, I remember the boys played that.
Did y'all know how to play actual backgammon? We knew how to play.
Yeah.
We used to play AC
Backgammon was big.
We played AC Deucey. We didn't actually play because there's
AC-deucey too,
backgammon
yeah.
rules and then there's AC Deucey. I never learned how to play backgammon. I can play
I
AC
played
Deucey to
backgammon
this day, but I can't play backgammon.
Yeah, that was fun.
Little 7 minutes in heaven.
Spin the bottle.
Right.
Oh yeah, spin the bottle.
Is that punch
Spin the
button?
Together.
I remember my first spin the bottle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There were all different type of names for that game.
Spin the bottle. You'd be like, spin it again. Spin it
What
again.
was that one? Hide and go get it.
Like
What was that? I
knuckles.
remember
I
that.
didn't
Hide and go get it. They had different names of that. Hide and go get it.
What was that? Hide and go
Oh,
get
y'all
it.
remember the plastic fork? You
When you smack it,
bend the end of it and you
mm-hmm.
until you break the fork completely.
He used to play. That's why Del Rose said pencil break. You play with pencils too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take your fork and lunch and break it. You know,
Mhm.
gotta break the fork up.
Yeah, I remember slap boxing, Jack. Slap boxing back in the day.
Slapboxing get around real quick.
Right, real quick.
Turned into a real fight. Yeah.
And it was always somebody really small and skinny. It was always the best one.
Right, because they was
Figure
fast
out to
and
tear you
lively,
up.
man. Right.
And that was the
Then
thing.
by
I
the
was
time you
small
lift
and
your
skinny,
hand up, you don't got smacked 4 times, and you'd be like, "Oh, bro, are we
Then
playing?" You always had to act that.
When you grab them
Are
up,
we
you
playing?
wrong because we slap boxing.
Knock knock ditch. Yeah.
Slapboxing get you in trouble.
Knock knock ditch and get you shot today, man.
Right.
We played Mines. I don't know why we had a game called Mines.
Mhm.
Mines, I don't remember.
MINTZ, Mines. And if a car goes by that was nice, like a damn
Oh
BMW,
yeah.
something like Mines.
That's what we say.
Yeah,
My car,
yeah.
my car, my car, my car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to do that. Yeah.
Everybody playing,
I
everybody playing with fireworks.
Oh,
went
man,
to
listen.
the older kids.
We used to go in the water yard. You're not
I
supposed
don't
to have
play with no
fireworks in New York
fireworks.
City.
That's crazy.
But
Yeah.
No.
there was always some guy who would go down to Chinatown and come back with a ton. We'd be in the water yard shooting Roman candles at each other, throwing firecrackers, all type of stuff,
That's
man. That was fun.
The
You
little,
know what we
Little
used to do?
Italy, they did fireworks every July 4th. The what was the Italians that was in New York? We had a family in Little Italy. They would do the fireworks.
They spend money. We used to take the stick off of bottle rockets. We used to snap the stick off and light it and then run.
That's right.
Somebody was getting chased.
Yeah.
Because they had a specific name for those. I ain't gonna say
Yeah,
it.
I didn't want to say it.
I ain't gonna say it on here, though.
I didn't want to say it, but that shit was funny, boy. Somebody was getting chased.
Bottle rockets. You don't put no bottle inside the rocket. You hold it until it gets just right while it's burning. You take it in the air. That's when it was fun. You don't put it in no bottle.
I messed my hand up on some blackjack. Black cat. Man,
Yeah, man, I remember the first time a firecracker went off in my hand. It didn't break the skin. It didn't break the skin, so I wasn't worried about it.
Ever, man.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Fun. I don't know. I had a great time growing up.
yeah, these kids, they sit in the house. My son, he can't get that boy off no video game.
Right.
You ever go past a house when you were like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years old, and you knew that house had a dog, and you went past that house like you were a damn burglar? Like, please don't see me.
Especially like those ones with painted along the fence or something like that. It's like,
This motherfucker always a German Shepherd for some reason.
and
Yeah,
that's
we had Dobermans. Our next door neighbor had Dobermans, and those things are freaking smart. And I remember I would like throw rocks at them, and I swear, if I'm lying, may God strike me down with lightning. I was throwing rocks at them, right? So it was a garage here and the house here, right, and then the fence here, right. So the dog was looking at me. He looked at the house, looked at the fence, looked at me, looked at the house, looked at the fence. He took 3 steps back, jumped, hit the house, bam, jumped up over the fence and landed at my feet and looked at me like, and then he did the same thing after I was like, I'm sorry. He like took 3 steps back, he jumped back over the fence just like that. I'm like, no, that's too much for me.
Dogs back in the day would make you feel like a superhero.
Yeah.
German Shepherds, when came out after school, I didn't think I could leap to a car roof so fast. That dog was crazy. As much as I love animals, I was not trying to play with him. That lady's car so fast. Knapsack and everything, just like
Oh, you were gone, huh, Carter?
yeah, you see a bunch of kids hauling behind, is somewhere along the way there's a dog behind them. Screaming too.
Yep.
Yeah. They didn't go quietly. It was that was it. But it was actually fun. I don't know. I thank y'all. We had a great time today.
Yeah.
This. Thank you.
Little memory lane. I like doing memory lane.
Yeah.
And all in all, honestly, man, those childhood things that you hold on to, man, that's part of prepping, man. Because we were doing some major shit
Yeah.
as you know,
Thank you for coming
preparing
through.
ourselves.
It also breaks it down that it's not all this extravagant stuff that brings joy. A lot of this simple stuff that we can all participate in and attain, and so it breaks it down. It's not that complicated.
Yeah, we need to keep it simple. Like I was saying earlier, we like I like to talk about solutions. Like we keep parroting the stuff that come across from the major newses. This is what's going on, but that's what they want you to do. They want you to keep parroting this stuff so that when it happens, they can say, "Look, it happened." We keep talking about shortages, which I think is a scarcity mindset that they're programming people to have a scarcity mindset. I'm sorry, I don't believe in food shortages. This day and age, we throw away way too much food.
Yes.
To have a food shortage right now. Look at how much food we're throwing away. Where's the food shortage at? Just because there's some things missing on the shelf, don't mean there's a food shortage. Okay, they're saying there's a food shortage, but that don't mean it has to be a food shortage. We're in control. So what are we doing to make sure we don't have a food shortage? Let them say whatever they want to. What are we doing so that we don't have a food shortage? Are we stocking up on seeds? Are we buying compost? They saying it's going to be a fertilizer shortage. So are we stocking up on fertilizer? Are we learning how to compost so that these things they're claiming is supposed to happen?
Right.
If you're paying farmers not to farm, that to me is you're making a food shortage. That is not a food shortage.
Yeah.
Carbon, I just got a response from that resource I was reaching out. She said, go ahead and give her a call. She's open to it for next Saturday.
Oh,
Reach out to her and just let her know.
Okay. So I'm going to speak to the lady, Earth
Mother.
Mother. Yeah. Hopefully we can get her on the show for moms or new moms, new parents with breastfeeding. She's a doula, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So any questions that that anybody may have or want to ask, she'll hopefully we'll have her on Saturday.
Yeah.
And you guys can come through with your questions. Ask the question because you might be helping somebody out who might watch it later on.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And hopefully people start doing it too. So it gives these parents, these new parents, even any type of parents that may be going through this shortage with the baby's milk, opportunity to find a solution to it, a different way to do it. Yep. And just start in your neighborhood. Clearly, you'll be surprised at the things that you can do just with what you have in front of you. You just got your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
And talk to people. Start a trend. Start a good trend, not silly stuff. Be useful. Be productive. Be the change.
Mm-hmm.
Stop relying on the government so much and rely on each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't live in a world of fear all the time. I'll tell you this: once you get out of fear, that's a dangerous thing.
Yeah, it is because it makes you free. It makes you real free.
Yeah. And the only thing that keeps you in fear is what you feed your mind and which you allow somebody to tell you can't do.
Yeah. Like if you keep hearing food shortage, you're gonna start believing there's a food shortage.
Right. Yep. And that's that. Food shortage. Everybody's doing their gardens now, whether it's on their windows and pots. So you conquered that. Let's move on to the next thing. Oh, shortage of milk. Let's move on to the next thing. Shortage in diesel fuel. Like if you really look at it, people are buying e-bikes. They're buying motorcycles that take less fuel.
Yeah. How about walking? That's another thing we did when we was little. We walked everywhere.
Everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't get too caught up in being afraid. Just get caught up in finding a solution to it. Because there's always a solution to something.
Always. I mean, our ancestors, they lived with what, a quarter of the stuff we got now they didn't have.
I was going to say that. You step back 20 years, 10, 20 years in your own life, you've experienced not needing what you have already.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again.
Yep. Make it through. You can do it.
This too shall pass.
Yep. Get into canning.
That one phone in the house. So he said he had a 100-foot cord on it.
150 foot cord.
The one television. What about the one television?
Everybody watched the same thing.
Yeah.
Y'all had a television with the record player on top?
Yeah.
Yes.
I ain't had one.
Speakers on the side. Yeah.
I can remember having my father wouldn't get a color television. I can remember that. He wouldn't get a color television.
My grandma had a Zenith. And
I remember Zenith.
Yeah. And you had to go to, you was the remote for your parents.
Put the channel the tuner halfway through because it wouldn't fight come in. Then you had to.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in canning, Sophia Bees is doing one. I'm looking for her link right now. Canning is another great option if you feel like you can't garden or you're not good at it. And some vegetables, and some food, and just put some stuff away. Get into it. There's always a solution. We just got to be able to find it and apply it. Wait, Riley, I know you got to go outside. I'm trying to find her link. I'm so sorry. Hold on a second. And that's it. But I really do appreciate everybody coming through. And thank you so much for sharing and having such a good time today. I really did. I smiled a lot, and I like that. I like the spirits. And
I will not be on tomorrow.
I'm sorry.
I said my wife lost her uncle. We had the services yesterday, so I will not be going on tomorrow.
Be good.
Okay. Sending
condolences, bro.
Condolences. Yep. And of course, Bougie Pepper is on here. She has a channel as well. I am trying to find it, guys. I'm so sorry. This is crazy.
Yo, is that plank challenge over?
Yeah, it's been over.
Because some people are still doing it, and I'm still watching.
Oh, Starduster. She didn't start on the 1st. That's why. I think today is her last day.
Okay. And you're doing the sunflower challenge, right?
Yeah, the mammoth sunflower.
What's the
Yeah.
sunflower
Were you
challenge?
growing Lord sunflower?
You 5-gallon bucket mammoth sunflower.
Wait,
One sunflower. She's doing good sitting in here in the living room with me under her grow light.
which is awesome. Of course, you know everybody else. Fat Guy with Guns, My Flat Family, Tactical Skillionaire. And I got
Peace, everybody.
Yep. Everybody enjoy. I'm trying to get everybody else to link out. That Sophia B. I cannot find it, but check her out.
Locked in, dropped it. Locked in,
Dropped
dropped
it. Yeah, I just dropped it.
Sophia B. Tactical Skillionaire, My Flat Family, and of course, Fat Guy with Guns. Thank you all so much.
Shout out to I'm sorry.
No, keep
Devil Roll, Locked In,
Mhm.
Jason Ewan. Shout out to all the moderators, Ghetto.
Yes.
Shout
Let me
out
tell
to
you something. I'm sorry. As a moderator, you cannot run your show without your moderators. I mean, if you have good moderators, they are going to be your backbone. So shout out to them. Absolutely. I love you guys. Appreciate you so much. Stop.
Damn, Ronnie, chill.
You gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, I told you, I gotta go now.
All right, John.
CRG building.
Everybody. Have a
Bye,
good one.
Bye.
Not too bad.
Wait, did I do it? Are you? I don't know if I left the.
No, we're still live. She's
Keep going.
still live. Hey, it's a takeover.
Y'all
Just
got
about to talk
New
shit.
York to the side. New York.
It's like the New York takeover again.
New York always taking over. Roll Garden. Y'all.
I don't think Q can see. Q, you know we're still live, right?
New York always Bow Garden. Bow Garden. See, West Coast, I'm breaking up. That's why I'm in the middle.
Man, what you talking about?